ranchers, and veterinarians committed to giving them the healthiest, most comfortable life possible. Because for cattle farmers, ranchers, and the moms of those baby calves, animal welfare is the top priority. Together, we bring more. Beef. It's what's for dinner. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers. This message courtesy of the Arkansas Beef Council and Beef. It's what's for dinner.com.
Now, in league
at Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782.
But that's all right. Let's grow from this. Let me.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace. And for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
Has been on this. This is not a process that was 6 months. This is years in the making, and I think he really thought it through.
This
like,
is Daryl
if you
Johnson
have a
Hashtag
seat,
Managed IT Services.
you're going to
we
have
are excited
a seat.
to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I know about 5 people who rooted for the Chiefs.
Well,
before the Mahomes,
but
Kelsey,
it
Andy
doesn't
Reid
matter.
thing.
But they are America's team now.
No, they're not.
Well, what is America's team?
The Cowboys.
America's team is when you jump on the bandwagon.
The Cowboys. Some of us still love America. you guys can just move on with whatever the fashionable thing is these days. But some of us still actually love our country.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a call play, and I called it, Chuck.
Back to Save Sports Radio.
I'm ready to roll right now,
Can you believe we're doing this?
This brings back.
Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Here is Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
I'm glad it's Friday, but I can't believe it's Friday. I had all these grand plans when the week began. No midweek game.
Yeah, you had a lot of time.
I'm going to get all this done.
Yeah.
I'm going to get all this done. And here we are. It's Friday. I got to get packed today, go to Lexington, where it's basketball week. I had no idea it was basketball week, as proclaimed by the mayor in Lexington.
When did that occur?
I guess it occurred. It slipped through the cracks, is the bottom line. I just read about it this morning, that the mayor, I guess the first of the week or prior to the start of the week, they couldn't really declare it like Calipari's coming back week, so they just declared it basketball week, citywide in Lexington. I don't know that that's meant anything during the week.
Was that for Cal?
What else could it be? She was saying, and I think it was a she, said that
It.
No, I mean she. I'm trying. I don't remember if they have a male mayor or female mayor.
Blazing start. To the show.
You guys are twisting words.
You guys.
Yes, you guys. What? Both of you are twisting words. What I don't recall is the mayor female or male?
What do you recall?
I recall that I probably shouldn't have even brought this up, but it's
Linda Gorton.
See, my point.
Exactly.
And but she said that what's more Lexington than basketball? She basically said everything except Calipari's coming back this week. So to my knowledge, this is the only basketball week during the calendar year in Lexington.
If we had any money around here, we could have bought billboards and congratulated Coach Cal on 15 great years of Kentucky basketball and just plastered them around the city with a Go Hogs hashtag underneath it.
I'm ready for the game to get here. I mean, I really am, because I think all this stuff this week, it's kind of been Kentucky's party. And I'm ready to see Razorbacks play. And
I'm excited about the game.
I do think it's going to be a better game than people imagine. I suspect that there's 3 players that played at Kentucky, too. It's not just about Cal. And I suspect they'll play great games tomorrow night. Who's going to win? I don't know, but I think it's going to be a close game.
Well, Arkansas has been working on some different things this week, according to Cal. like some pressing stuff and putting in some wrinkles, and Adu's apparently getting healthier, and none of that will matter if they can't make a basket. But Kentucky's probably going to feel a little tightness, and this is a prime free shot type of game for a Razorback team that needs something good to happen. And this is an us against the world mentality, if there ever was one. It totally sets up for that. John Calipari does not have a problem motivating people. I think these guys will go in there, and one of two things will happen. They'll either play like really poorly, or they play the game of the year so far.
I'll be very surprised if they play poorly. You're going to have 10 guys on the floor who fancy themselves as big-time basketball players. Some of them are, some of them, maybe not as close as others. But they're all going to be thinking of themselves as ballers. That arena is going to be full. There's going to be an atmosphere there that you don't find at very many venues. They're going to rise to the occasion. Now, whether or not they're going to win the game, look, Arkansas needs Kentucky to play tight. They're going to need some breaks, and they're going to need to do some things they've not been doing consistently well. They've done them. They've just not done them well consistently. They're going to have to play 40 minutes of that type game. And look, Kentucky's going to have to do some things they didn't do against Tennessee. They went to Knoxville and won, and that's not easy to do. So you have to respect that. And Kentucky's got a lot of firepower. And you better get back on defense. That's the one thing that I'd say, man. You better get back on defense.
Are you excited about the game? If you're a Razorback fan today, are you excited about the game? Because I am. As a fan, I feel I'm anxious for the game to get here.
I like the show, and this is going to be a good show.
It's a show.
Yeah.
Not every game has this sort of hype around it.
The truth is Kentucky's kind of been our Texas in basketball. Kentucky leads the series 36-14. Similar numbers, if you want to draw an analogy to football, to the record against Texas. There have been wins. Arkansas's won. They've won a game or two at Kentucky up there when I didn't think they had a chance to win up there. So sometimes these types of settings bring out the best in players. Sometimes they don't. But I don't think these guys that number one, played at Kentucky, I don't think they're going to wilt. They may get beat, but I don't think they're going to wilt.
I look forward to walking in the building and, as an opposing coach, I'm the opposing coach. In my time, I don't remember them ever cheering an opposing coach. I'm fine. All I know is the fans, they're terrific. They were terrific during our run. They're engaged. And my guess is they're going to be really engaged on Saturday.
Here's the element that nobody knows the answer to. Even Cal. What is he going to do? 15 years. This is fresh off a 15-year marriage full of memories, emotions, and what is he going to do, and how is he going to react? And I believe in his ability to block it all out once the game starts. But this game, the nobody knows how anybody's quite going to act and how they're going to respond. And then how does the game start? And then once the game starts, how does everybody settle in after the first 5 minutes? And are we in a game at this point, or is it 15-2? Does Kentucky come out and just shoot the lights out and you're out of it before it even starts? Can you weather or start and just hang around and just be in this game for the first half?
Well, I think that's a good question. No, that's a good question.
Because the emotions are, and there's three. We haven't talked about this much this week. Mm-hmm. There are three players on this Razorback team that played at Kentucky last year, and if you think that these the fringe lunatics of the Kentucky fan base weren't on Zvonimir Ivicic and DJ Wagner when they left Kentucky. And who's the third player that was at Kentucky? Thiero. Last year. If you think they didn't get it on social media when they followed Cal to Kentucky, I mean, it's not just about Cal going into this game.
Well, you think about, Carter Knox and Billy Richmond and Boogie Flan. They were all going to go to Kentucky. And so, yeah, here's the thing, though, when you travel. They'll go to the arena tonight. There will be a shoot-around in the arena tonight. All the memories, I suspect, I don't know this, but I suspect that all those guys will walk around the floor tonight and they'll look up and they'll remember and they'll think about all that. And then there'll be a pregame practice tomorrow and they'll go back into the arena and they'll have a walkthrough for the game tomorrow night. So my point is they will have been in that building twice before the game starts.
Before the fans get in there.
Before the fans get in there. I don't suspect, in all honesty, I don't suspect walking out there for Cal is going to be that big a deal. Now, I'm talking about as the game's about to begin and the fans do their deal. I know for some that's hard to imagine. I've been around a lot of these guys. He's going to be locked in and focused. The memories will come flooding back when he walks in there tonight, would be my suspicion. And now for the kids, you never know. You just don't know. But I really don't. Cal's, you were talking about, a 15-year divorce. You're going to do what a lot of people try to do. You're going to try to act more dignified than the other one. And so I suspect regardless of what happens with the fans, Cal's going to react with dignity. I suspect the first thing he's going to do is walk over to the table by the bench, pick up his clipboard. He's going to set his chair down right in front of the bench as though he's facing it. And he's going to go to work writing out the stuff for the game, as he always does. In other words, I think it'll be the same routine he's gone through in every game. But the kids, it'll be interesting because, they are, despite the fact they're getting paid, they are still 19, 20, 21 years old.
I'm feeling the excitement. Here's what I need from you, Chuck.
All right,
I need this from you. Edward, I need you to back me up on this. We need Chuck. There's some Arkansas people that have gone to Lexington and gotten a head start.
Right.
There was an article in the newspaper today for those of us that still read that. Dateline Lexington, Kentucky. They're like touring the city. Cal used to be here.
Cal's old haunts.
He used to eat donuts there. He used to walk his dog in a stroller over here, and he went to mass here. And so there's this contingent that's been there, and it's like, we're in Lexington already. Well, Chuck, you're going to be there tonight.
Yes, I
am. And what the Chuck and Bo Show needs from you are selfies and photos of the city.
Wow.
And a picture of your plate of food at dinner and all of the just proverbial things that people do when they go to the city, because you're going to the city.
Why do people do that?
This is
Why do
city.
people take pictures of their food?
Well, look at my life. Look at my tomahawk steak.
It's doing well on social
media. Look at it here.
Right now. The contingents that are out there.
Oh, people are. I'm telling you. People are ready. Like, this is.
I understand all that, but posting a picture of your meal I've never understood that.
Running up the engagement on Twitter, man.
Is that like letting people know, hey, I'm living the good life?
Posting a picture of your red meat is what people. Hey, look at my steak.
Look how healthy I am eating this white fish.
Lexington has some good steak places.
Believe me, I know my way around.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Billy, what's his name, can tell you about the spots to go to.
Billy
Gillespie.
Yeah.
Billy Gillespie can tell you. Yeah, Billy G. Billy Clyde.
Billy Clyde
He
Gillespie.
can tell you about where to go.
Yeah.
In Lexington.
I'm too old for that now. I just like hang out. To me, a good trip, a good night on the town, it's like a good meal that somebody else has bought. Go back to the hotel and chill out.
You're not going to do the bourbon tour tonight or tomorrow somewhere?
I've done that. It's been several years. I've done that, and it's an interesting deal. It's a fun day. But no, not going to do that.
This is, I don't think I'm overstating this at all. This is the Super Bowl before the Super Bowl.
Well, no, you're not overstating it even for a moment.
Well, I'll tell you this. I feel like that's how Lexington is treating it. They've named it Basketball Week.
They are.
That this is to them. Listen, I don't think we can underestimate at all or overstate how big of a deal this game is to Kentucky fans.
No, you're right.
There's no bigger game to them this year.
Can I be honest? For just a second?
Well, I wish you would be honest more often, but this is a start.
Felt for our fans this week because all they've heard about is from a on-the-floor perspective, Kentucky's party. And from an off-the-floor perspective, how it's going to cost more to get into their party. And I've thought about that, simmering beneath the surface all week long. I've thought about that. That for our people, the Razorbacks are 1-6. And that's not very good. And all they're hearing all week long is everybody talk about how Calipari is, what he did at Lexington. And look, I applaud what he did there. As I've said before, even before we hired him, I've always admired him from a distance because of the way he handles himself in defeat. I think he is always gracious in defeat. Now, we've seen that a little bit too much this year. But I've thought about that this week. Our fans, our people, the people who wear red and are going to be pulling for the Razorbacks on Saturday and who don't give a rip about what happened over the last 15 years in Lexington. For them, I would like the game to start, and I would like the game to go well from a Razorback perspective because I think Arkansas basketball fans this week have kind of there's been a lot of, well, what about us? During the course of this week. I'm not knocking anything that's been said. Believe me, I'm not.
Let me clean this up.
Because I've said a lot of it,
Let me clean this up.
All right, please do.
I want to go in there and knock them the bleep out.
I do too.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been talking about all week. That's all I'm thinking about. I'm just thinking about Arkansas going in there and absolutely leaving them with their jaws on the floor because they deserve it.
It would be
with
fun.
all the noise they've been given. I feel like that official in the playoff game.
And at some point, the referee can award a score if this type of behavior.
Like if this type of behavior continues, you're going to take it in the mouth. It's 6:18 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Touching the hearts of Arkansans, the passive-aggressive Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit gopaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
When you bank at First Security, you're choosing better for yourself and fellow Arkansans. Better service from friendly professionals who really invest in your goals. Better solutions with convenient tools and smart resources. And better support for the things that matter to you, as well as the communities that matter to us all. Because finding your better at First Security makes Arkansas better too. First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
2025 is here, and Fayetteville Auto Park is making it easier than ever to elevate your drive during our New Year's sale. Every pre-owned vehicle, hundreds and hundreds to choose from, all with clearance pricing for a limited time. That's right, Fayetteville Auto Park has clearance priced every used car, truck, and SUV in stock. One-owner trades, budget buys, luxury vehicles, off-lease cars, even certified pre-owned, with special finance rates and warranties up to 100,000 miles. Buy now at all 4 Fayetteville Auto Park locations. That's Acura of Fayetteville, Honda of Fayetteville, Toyota of Fayetteville, and Chevrolet of Fayetteville. It's time to drive in 2025, and no one makes it easier than Fayetteville Auto Park. Take advantage of clearance pricing on every pre-owned vehicle now during our New Year's sale. Limited time only at Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. FayettevilleAutoPark.com.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Save Sports Radio.
The Hit
That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
Folks, it's that time of year again.
Mom, what's he talking about?
Matt, I have no idea.
It's hoop time, and in about a month, it's going to be baseball season.
And the Stadium Shop has everything you need.
Whether it's decorating your fan cave or getting something to wear for the game, we have what you need.
We even have Nike basketball jerseys, sideline apparel, even brands like Cutter and Buck and Champion.
Or how about something from Tommy Bahama or Coliseum for those Hawaiian shirt Sundays?
Guys, Nike baseball team hats and jerseys will get here about the 1st of February. Hey, Matt, do you know what's blue but doesn't weigh very much?
No, what?
Light blue.
Mom, please help.
Matt, there's no cure for a dad joke.
Folks, come by the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium, or shop us on them Insta WW book.
Dad, it's Facebook. The website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Do you adhere to a budget, Chuck?
Not as well as I should.
Yeah, say.
Some people are like that.
I admire those people.
I'm not one of them.
I need to get on that plane.
I need to get on that plane too.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
National Fun at Work Day, Chuck. So
well,
today,
I'm having the time of my life.
Everyone gets to do what we do every day today.
We do have a pretty fun
National Fun.
Get to enjoy your smiling face every day. And Edward and spoke to Bart. Well, texted Bart yesterday.
Did you?
And Edward tells me he was active on the Twitter late last night.
Oh, he was up late last night tweeting, calling for refs to be fired from the NBA and all sorts of stuff.
You think he's milking it?
Hold on a second.
You think he's milking it?
11:05 p.m.
Hold on.
What were you doing?
Hold on. Are you kidding me?
No, I checked this morning when I got up and came into work.
Oh, okay.
I saw it in my Twitter.
It doesn't go away like your Snapchat, Chuck.
I don't do
it stays
Snapchat.
there. It doesn't
I don't do
just
Snapchat.
Vanish. It's there.
I thought maybe Edward and Bart were in an exchange.
No.
I'm happy to hear that you have a heart and that you texted Bart yesterday to get well. I did the same.
Yeah.
It was kind of an afterthought. It was the end of the day.
Yeah, well, it was like I hadn't texted Bart in a couple
I
of days.
know. It's like, is he breathing?
Is he okay?
And now I find out he's on Twitter late at night griping.
Yeah.
Which I guess
calling for people to be fired.
Yeah, I guess that's medicine for the old COVID.
I guess that's right.
There was a bad call in the Grizzlies game. His tweet was, "The ref who made this call should be banished from the league."
Wow. Bart was up watching the Grizzlies play late. Were they on the coast? Were they playing out west?
He hasn't been able to vent.
It was Houston, Memphis, so I'm not sure where they were playing.
Houston is out west now.
Yeah, it is.
They were unable. He's been unable to get these emotions and this venting that he gets in here. Angry Bart is the best. There's two kinds of Bart that are just next level. Thoughtful Bart, where he's just strolling around the office with a putter on his shoulder, deep in thought, and just kind of strolling the hallways. That's a true story. And then the other one is when he shoves his chair back away from his desk over there where he is for the show, and he throws his hands up.
He fumes.
And he becomes very red, and he becomes very Irish Catholic, and he's very demonstrative, and he gets very loud. That was what you had on Twitter last night.
Yeah.
Which that's probably why he hasn't gotten better yet. He's using a lot of emotion on refs and officials.
He's staying up late.
He's not getting his sleep. That's the thing.
Isn't
that what they say?
He probably thought he was coming back this morning and wasn't going to tell us, and then he stayed up too late and was just like, I'll take it. It's Friday. Yeah. Let's just start with a fresh week.
That's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to come back Monday. There will have been a game on Saturday. People are either going to be ecstatic or they're going to be mad again, and Bart will be here then.
Everyone in the college basketball world is going to be watching this game on Saturday night. If Cal was not at Arkansas and you as a Razorback fan were being told, Cal's going back to Kentucky, but let's say he's coaching whatever team and he's going like he's at Tennessee, he's going back to Kentucky, and we're watching this game tomorrow night. The college this is a marquee game for that reason, that he's returning.
Oh, and they're promoting it like crazy on ESPN.
That's what it's the game.
Oh, yeah.
8 o'clock, ESPN, and I'm excited about it.
I think, you're right.
I'm excited to watch it.
If you're a college basketball fan, as you said a minute ago, you're going to watch that game. It's like, if the Razorback football team plays during the day on Saturday and Alabama and LSU play that night. You're going to watch the game.
I know.
You want to get home and watch it.
We get accused of being too positive or whatever, and that's fine. I'd rather be that. But if you're looking for another reason, you got to be excited. You got a free shot here. And if you were to say, hey, you're going to start the league 1-6, but midway through the year, you're going to go to Kentucky and you're going to knock them off, and this team is going to catch fire. It's that kind of opportunity.
What a story.
What a story. What a Ryan Day.
What a story.
What a Ryan Day rise from the ashes story. Now, is that going to happen? Probably not. But that's why we play. That's what sports gives you. This isn't David versus Goliath, but it kind of is. And it kind of feels like the whole world's against you. Here's the other thing I feel bad for fans. Because of Cal being so polarizing, and if he's not on your team, you don't like him. Unfortunately, this moment of celebration, like he's our coach now, has turned into you're getting dragged along and all the arrows are getting shot at you as a Razorback fan as well, because it hasn't gone very well yet. So like it or not, we're all kind of in this together, at least for the moment in this one game. And I do feel bad about Hog fans for that, because not only are you not very good or haven't played very well, you're getting talked to about it. You're getting told about it, where in the past, nobody's really paying. If you're not doing well, they're not really coming at you and paying attention to you. But you're still relevant, and there's no hiding, and you're out here on stage, and it's not going well. And so this is a chance for everybody to have a moment of glory. It's a free shot. Nobody expects you to win the game. You're a 10.5-point underdog. But you have a chance to go in there and do the one thing in sports that's even better than winning. Beating somebody who won't shut up. It's just all there.
It's true.
It's just free shot.
No, you're right. You're exactly right.
Here's your 3 balls, and you get to throw them at the principal who's in the dunk tank. And if you could just land one of them, everybody celebrates.
No, I think it's set up for something like that. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. It doesn't mean it's going to. Kentucky's favored, and there's a reason for that. And look, I've seen Razorback teams go in there and play over their heads. I've seen Razorback teams go in there and win. I've seen Razorback teams go in there and get blown out. We've been through it all in Lexington. But emotion's a pretty powerful thing, channeled properly. And, Eddie Sutton always talked about that magic level. And I do think it's going to be a challenge for Kentucky to manage all this. I'm not saying they won't, but I'm saying I think it's going to be more difficult for them to manage the challenge emotionally of this ball game than it was when they played in Knoxville Wednesday night. You go on the road, it's you against the world. But when you're at home and you're playing a game that everybody not only expects to win, but demands to win. You want to talk about running somebody's party? I mean, could the Razorbacks not go in there and ruin their party Saturday night? When that's facing you, sometimes you do tighten up a little bit. Now, does that mean it's going to happen? I don't know. But that's part of the recipe.
We need Jerry Jones to walk next to Cal into the building, and then we'll have it all.
Smiles and glory hole.
We'll have it all.
There you do.
It'll all be set up. It'll all be set up. 877-377-6963. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. We're brought to you in part by First Security Bank, Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric, the Fayetteville Auto Park, celebrating their 25th year. Flight by Yingling and Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. It's Friday. Arkansas and Kentucky tomorrow night in Lexington, 6:30 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
I don't like getting up early in the mornings. I mean, even to go duck hunting, but I do get up every morning now to listen to you guys.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight,
Discover the stone.
The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off.
As you all know, I'm not best friends with John
Calipari. And click on the Sweat No Edge.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
You want to talk about washed? You're being brainwashed by idiots. You're following idiots.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly.
I understand that there's many fans that are upset with this change, but we have many fans that are embracing this and seeing it as their opportunity to move up and where they sit in Bud Walton Arena currently.
Not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See Agent Randy Milam in Alma or Agent Brandon Zimmerman in Barling.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, a Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, a Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. That's a Cut Above, 719-5605.
Picture it. It's a day like any other. You're stuck in traffic on Rogers Avenue during rush hour. You're just ready to get home and relax with your family. And then, just like that, Your life can change in an instant, and you're going to need a lawyer to make it right. I'm Phil Votaw with Phil Votaw and Associates. If this happens to you, call me, 479-434-6200, or online at votawlaw.com. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio. Simon, what's going on?
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text or use bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. Try to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
You did.
But I spewed it out.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning. What
Friday.
a morning to be alive. What a day. By the way, I hated to miss this yesterday, and I apologize, but it was National Yodel for Your Neighbor Day. I always want you to think about
Well,
this.
you know, you like to get out in the yard and yodel for your neighbor every once in a while.
Yesterday would have been the day to do it.
Yeah.
It's the guy next door, you know.
Single guy moves in.
Yeah, been
See,
having
like,
a few beers
he
in the
likes the
afternoon.
neighbor. He kind of wants to make an impression, so he stands out back and yodels.
Yeah.
I mean,
That'll
what are
make
we
an
doing
impression.
here?
That'll make an impression.
What are we doing here? So Cal had a news conference yesterday, and like it's the biggest news conference of the year. I mean, I don't think anybody was going to let him go.
Oh, they did.
I
I was
ask him a million questions.
I didn't watch it live. I watched it like an hour or so after it happened, and I looked at, I could read his body language. I've been around him enough to, not a lot, but enough to know when he's ready to go. And there was you could read his body. He was so ready to get out of there. And I looked down at the bottom, and it said there were 10 minutes left in the press conference, and I'm like, oh, no.
Oh, you were watching the rerun.
Yeah, I was watching the rerun.
Taped portion.
And so
how much is left in this?
Yeah, and I was sitting there thinking, oh, man, there's 10 more minutes left. And I had to watch it just to watch the last 10 minutes, knowing he was ready to get the heck out of there. And they just kept asking questions.
And then it was about the
it
reseating.
Amused me. Yeah, then it was about the reseating. He even got to ask about that.
Hunter has been on this. This is not a process that was 6 months. This is years in the making. And I think he really thought it through. If you have a seat, you're going to have a seat. So you may have to move a little bit, but you're going to have your ticket. And that's what he told me. And I said, that's we just can't forget about those people who have been there and had their father there, their grandfather there, that, have been big and supporters of this program. And I think the administration's got that, and they know it. It's painful. To be honest, it's painful. And again, 3 different places. UMass, I think we did it at Kentucky. And I believe we did it at Memphis at some point because we moved, though, from the Pyramid to the FedEx Forum. So, yeah, that's all part of athletics and the changing environment.
Yeah, and when people don't do it for a long period of time, like Arkansas, it's a pretty jarring thing for some people. But I thought yesterday was very informative. If you haven't heard or seen the Hunter Yurachek interview, it's on YouTube. We've posted it on social media. It's fairly easy to find if you just want to Google it. you can get some real. I talked to people yesterday who were just grateful to hear all of the explanation. Some of it was very detailed. I mean, Chuck went on a 5-minute on his own interview of just really deep dive questions that really delivered, I think, what we all needed to know. And it was, I mean, we asked Hunter too about just angry fans and people who say, all you want is money and we're not getting enough wins. And he spoke to that. But here's the thing, that if you take a step back and you're a third-party observer to this, it's actually going really well for the athletic department. Like, if you're running a business, this is a smart move, because there are a lot of people that are wanting to give money and have better seats who haven't been able to, because the grandfathered in nature of 30 years ago didn't allow for more money to be infused into the program. And when you have a new $25 million deficit as a business, you have to make changes. And they have a $25 million deficit they are facing. So they would be fiscally irresponsible, in my opinion, not to do things that are commonplace in college athletics to improve your revenue.
I understand that there's many fans that are upset with this change, but we have many fans that are embracing this and seeing it as their opportunity to move up and where they sit in Bud Walton Arena currently.
So they've already had, I don't know what the update is today, what happened yesterday, but they had 187 calls day one in half a day in the afternoon about moving around. And you heard Cal talking earlier, like, you may not sit in the first 5 rows because your donor status, you're not willing to pay more and it doesn't equal that anymore. You're still going to be in the building if you want to. And if you don't want to, there is enough of a demand of people that do want to replace you. And that's disappointing in some ways, but it's also where we are in college athletics. We can't say on one hand that we want to compete, say on another hand that we don't want to pay for it, and then when the university finds a way to pay for it, be mad about it. I mean, we can't. We can. That's called being American. We want it all. We want it all. I don't know about you, but I do. I want it all. It's hard to make decisions sometimes, because if I do, then I might be I might have FOMO on this other thing over here. And it's just how we are. But if you look at it from a third-party perspective, other than it affecting you personally, it's hard to argue that it's good for the program.
They're doing what they have to do in the climate that currently exists. This is.
I said it's hard to argue that it's not good for the program.
No, and look, my strong suspicion is when this is all said and done, they'll sell that arena out before next season starts.
Season ticket-wise.
Season tickets will be sold out before next season begins. I really don't have any doubt about that. I think sometimes we underestimate how many people are trying to get in. We tend to focus on the people who are upset about being pushed out, and that's natural. But I think there are also a lot of people that do want to buy in, so to speak. I still have some questions, and I'd be interested along the way maybe in talking to some people who have had their conference, so to speak. I think the number of tickets, the quantity, is an issue to people based on what I've heard. But I do suspect when it's all said and done that this thing will be sold out. I've got to say, I think and I think it's become apparent this week, again, that there is a disconnect between college athletic departments and the common folks, not just here but everywhere. As we've talked about, we're not the only place where this is happening. But we're the ones that are affected by it. I think there's been, we've heard a lot of negative comments this week. I think they've come from two camps. One, who are people who are just upset about the basketball season. They're not season ticket holders. They're just mad about the way the season's going. If you're a season ticket holder, this reseating affects you. If you are not a season ticket holder, it does not directly affect you. Now, you may be mad about everything, but what you're really mad about is the team not winning the games. I do think, again, when it's all said and done, that this thing will sell out. but there will be hard feelings, and it's just not just here but everywhere. Man, you better win games. You've got to win games because you're asking people to pay a lot of money, and that's a lot of pressure, and it's not fair. But I just kind of think that's the way people view it now. We've heard very clearly that right or wrong, people expect success on the floor or the field as part of their return on a large investment. Now, I don't think that's the proper expectation, but there's no doubt that it's become clear that that's what people expect.
Well, if you are going to have expectations, go swing for a Hall of Fame coach.
Well, you're right about that.
And when you get a Hall of Fame coach, you should have expectations.
Don't run him off the first year, though.
Don't run him off year one.
Yeah.
I would bet on the uptick here if I were betting.
Hey, before we go to a break, I want to talk about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, for just a second. You know, Bo's son, his family found out about what pros they are, and you will too. If it's time to buy or sell a home and you partner with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, you're going to find out the same thing we already know. There's no better partner. And you need a partner when you're buying or selling a home. I don't mean you need an agent. You need a partner. You need somebody that understands what your needs are, that listens to you, and then goes about the business of making it happen, regardless of which side of the table you sit on. Someone who's a real estate pro 24/7. And that's what you're always going to find at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Offices in Northwest Arkansas, both Washington and Benton counties, Fort Smith, Branson. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can check them out at WeicherGriffin.com.
It's 46 in Fayetteville. It's 45 in Centerton, 47 in Alma, and probably about similar where you are. A little warmer right now. Getting a little warmer. We like that. It is 6:46. It's Friday on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
That's the actual question. What the hell's going on around here?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Being a Razorback fan isn't just about the game. It's about the community, the tradition, and the moments that matter. At Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, they understand the importance of those moments. That's why they offer a selection of fine jewelry that goes beyond the ordinary, just like our Hogs. Visit Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers, where you'll find that perfect piece to celebrate your Razorback spirit and the special moments in your life. If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit GoPaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today by correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, Precedent. We'd love to help.
Bo, when your show went off a few years ago, it was like I've been lost ever since then. And I just really appreciate your show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, Ty Richardson, I'm with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan, I know you're a wizard here at First Financial Mortgage, but you do okay with the sticks as well.
Yeah, I've been playing golf since I was 5. I've been in the golf game for a long time.
Question is, what are you better at, golf or lending?
I have to say that equally both. I've used golf in my career to kind of help propel it as well. I used to prepare hard with golf. I do the same thing in work. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jam Mart. Jam Mart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. Jam Mart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero Jam Mart locations. And stop by any of the 6 Jam Mart locations in the area. Jam Mart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I've got certain compartments in my backpack that certain items go in for every trip. Like, for example, I have to have blue or yellow sweetener for my coffee. I'm a diva in that respect.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
When you get on the team plane later today, do they have a cup of coffee with a lid on it and just a couple of packets sitting right there for you, and you go on first, go back to your seat in 34F, and then just settle in?
No,
with
that
your
would
neck pillow.
That would be plane 1, where Cal is.
Well, I'm talking about your plane.
Plane
There's-
2, no.
No. There's
No.
the Chuck and Bo Show, and there's the Cal and Chuck planes.
No.
Yeah.
No, I am.
Don't lie. I saw. It's like the buses. They have bus 1. It's Cal
I
bus.
am on bus
and
2.
then bus 2 is Chuck bus.
No, it's the Z bus.
You're the leader of bus 2.
Matt Zimmerman has proclaimed himself Captain Slappy, and he's the leader of bus 2. He's the leader of bus 2.
Hey, how about the women's basketball team?
Hey, that was a big win for them.
Can we
last
celebrate
night.
this?
That was a
How
really
about that?
nice win.
Izzy Higginbottom is a sight to see. Like, that's a price of admission player right there. 33 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, nearly a triple-double.
You know what I like about Izzy Higginbottom?
And they rolled A&M.
She wants to play. I mean,
thank goodness.
I mean, she wants to play. Let's be honest. We've had players, men's, women's, other teams have too. I mean, sometimes you wonder, do they really want to play? Or are they just kind of like here? She comes to play. I know she's had a couple of bad games. I mean, she's carried the whole team on her back all year. She's going to have 1 or 2 bad games. But, I mean, when she laces up her sneakers, she's ready to play a game, and I like that.
I'm going to be mayor for a second.
All
mayor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Please
You're
do.
mayor of bus 2, despite
No,
what Z says.
no.
I'm mayor of the Chuck and Bo Show for today. and I'm naming it Izzy Higginbottom Day.
All right, there
Izzy
you go.
Higginbottom Day, because it's also National Inspire Your Heart Day, and she has inspired our collective
Has
hearts.
she inspired your heart?
33 points. Yeah, nearly a triple-double.
I know. I
She
mean,
wants to play.
33, 10,
She
and
scored
7.
33 of their 72 points.
Yeah, I guess when you put it like that, that's a pretty dominant performance.
Izzy Day on National Inspire Your Heart Day.
All right, here
By
we
the
go.
way, what can we do today to inspire your heart? And that includes you, Chuck. What can we do to inspire your heart?
Well, let's.
Do you get inspired?
I get inspired. I don't have to verbalize it the way some people do, but yeah, I get inspired.
Do you get a little tear?
No, well, I mean, every once in a while, I have emotions like
You
normal
do,
people.
but you don't show. Do you show them? Are you a crier?
No.
We know you're not a hugger.
Nah, not around other people. No.
So that's this side of the show.
Yeah.
The Bo side of the show. I've got all the emotional people.
Well, I mean, hey, I'm speechless. Cry yourself to sleep.
National Inspire Your Heart Day. How can we inspire you? Dave Baker, long time
He's a
media
good guy.
personality, sports guy in Lexington. Done a lot of play-by-play nationally. Does the pregame show for the Wildcats. Will take us inside Lexington next.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former quarterback and now coach Ty Story talk about his great LASIK results with McDonald Eye. The surgeons there have done more LASIK procedures than anybody in the state of Arkansas and have helped numerous athletes get better results through improved vision. When it comes to vision, nobody sees it like McDonald Eye.
I want Texas to lose. Yeah, I want them to rot in hell.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will be in and out of the clouds. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be in the mid-50s, falling to right around 50 this afternoon, further south in the lower 60s. We will see a clear to partly cloudy sky tonight, areas of fog possible, upper 30s, and then increasing sunshine Saturday, a high low 60s. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. How do people see what you've made over the years, Cecil?
Google, Yahoo it, or Bing it. Jazzco Graphics Design, JAAZCO, Monday through Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And sometimes I'm here after. So if that open sign is on, I'm here. Y'all come on in. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
KERX Paris Sports Med. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Wagner paints.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Can people stop comparing sports to their own jobs in real life?
Yeah, we need to do that.
I don't get paid. I get fired if I don't perform at my job.
People act like they give 100% every day at work. I mean, now you may be one of those people that like gives 1,000% at work every day. But don't try to tell me you've not ever blown off an afternoon. I mean, why do we think this is the same thing? Because most of us, myself included, we've not been in that spot and we don't know how to equate it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a called play, and I called it, Chuck.
Back to Save Sports Radio.
I'm ready to roll right now,
Can you
Bo.
believe we're doing this?
This brings back.
Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Here is Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Chuck's going to hop on a plane and go to Lexington. He'll be in Rupp Arena tonight. Dave Baker's been there since the early 90s as a sportscaster, a host, and somebody we've all seen across the SEC, affectionately known as Buzz.
Dave's the man in Lexington.
And
you just mention his name and get you anywhere you want to go.
What restaurant is Buzz Baker going to get you into tonight is the real question, Chuck. Dave, great to have you on the show. Been too long.
It has. It's just whatever restaurant Chuck wants to get into tonight. That's the whole question. But I hate to correct you, Bo, especially like that. But it's been since the early 80s, not the early 90s.
Well, I was just going for as far back as I could remember. I apologize. You've been at the same TV station since then.
Last time you and I talked, Bo, was at I believe it was a warm summer's night in some southern location, if you remember.
Yeah, I believe that's right. Great to talk to you again.
Dave, were you there when Rupp opened? When did Rupp open?
Well,
we lose him?
We knocked
Lexington, and I graduated from Georgetown in '82. So my first year at the station was Derby week of '82, actually.
Wow. It's been a long time.
How much has changed in Lexington since Cal left? What's this been like?
Well, it's really been kind of interesting. I guess I would put the 30,000-foot view of it is back when I was doing SEC games and everything. I was talking to Andy Kennedy one day at shoot around. We were doing an Ole Miss game. I can't remember who they were playing, but one of his great mentors was Gene Bartow after the whole UCLA thing. And he said that Coach Bartow told him one time, he said, you probably can't stay anywhere any longer than 10 years because the people. And so I think there was maybe some of that, but it hadn't been a negative toward Cal. It's just been a huge positive toward Mark Pope.
Yeah, a change can certainly bring that. Give us the vibe of Lexington this week. It seems like from afar, Kentucky fans are treating this like the Super Bowl midseason for them. Like and from a national college basketball perspective, I think anybody who loves college basketball is going to be watching Cal's return to Kentucky. Help us who haven't been there as much as you have understand why it feels like that.
I think it was when the schedule came out, okay, and this game was announced. I mean, the buzz was huge. I mean, ticket prices were through the roof. But it's just like a season itself. I think it's kind of changed as you've gone on. I mean, people were hopeful, but I don't know that there was anybody in college basketball that thought that Mark Pope, and the reason is that folks didn't have a lot of information about him outside of Utah and everything, but I don't think they thought he was going to do what he's done. And so, most of the talk this week, you had Kirk Kriisa, you had Lamont Butler, your two top point guards were out. You only got 5 minutes out of Andrew Carr. And somehow, with a bunch of guys from the YMCA, you cobbled together a win at Tennessee the other night. So that has taken up most of the oxygen. I think there are people out there that don't like Kentucky, and obviously there are people out there historically that have not liked Arkansas or whoever the team is. Those haters, if you'll call them that, they're trying to put that narrative out there that, Cal is really going to get the business when he comes back. But I just don't think that happens at all. And quite frankly, I think from a Lexington standpoint, the temperature has been taken down a little bit because of Arkansas's record.
Yeah. 1-6. This is not the start that Cal wanted to get off to, and I know it's not every Kentucky fan, but you know how the lunatic fringe of any fan base is on social media. I mean, they have been in the business of Razorback fans all season.
See, and that's why I can't believe. Bo, you're young, you're an entrepreneur. That's why I can't understand why a veteran, well-respected, I mean, iconic figure in Arkansas athletics like Chuck would be sucked back into the pool of talk radio.
Yeah.
It was his idea.
I'm sure there's money involved. I'm sure there's money involved somewhere, and I support that. I'm a capitalist.
Yeah. It was his idea to do the show. He dragged me along.
That's right.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just dragged Bo in. Well, I needed somebody to do the work, Dave. You know how it is. You need somebody to actually do the job.
No, I get that. But, I don't hear a lot of that, through my job at the TV station or doing a pregame show or anything. There has just not been a lot of that out there. There there have been a few guys in your line of business that have tried to stoke those flames a little bit, but it was not bad at all when Pitino came back with Louisville. The only difference is I'm trying to think of somewhere else where this might have happened. I mean, whether it's Spurrier or whomever.
Not on that scale. Not on this scale.
But the point I was going to make, Chuck, is the fact that he's coming back the next year. Pitino had that time where he went to the NBA. And, so he didn't leave Lexington for Louisville. He left Lexington for the Celtics. And so I'm not sure if there's another program that has had their coach leave, come back in the building the very next year with a different team.
You as we were talking a little bit earlier, you've been there a while. You've seen coaches come and go. From the outside looking in, I've always kind of thought Pitino and Calipari were the ones that really mastered that job. I mean, at least in my adult lifetime. Can you describe to us what's involved in being the basketball coach at Kentucky beyond being the basketball coach? All the things that are expected and required, really.
Well, it is kind of different. I think Rick just brought a freshness. Remember that when he came in, Kentucky was coming off that probation, which Eddie Sutton and company were hit with, and so he was able to put together kind of a ragtag bunch until he recruited Jamal Mashburn, and got the thing going again. And for Kentucky fans, I think the Billy Gillispie era was kind of like that dream season on Dallas, just kind of like it never happened. But everybody was so beaten down because of that. Cal came in and hit every right note. And I think first and foremost that great coaches, they've obviously got to have their system. They got stuff they believe in, and they got to get it done on the court. But at the same time, within their own skill set, they understand who they're dealing with. Saban was absolutely perfect for Alabama. When Cal and Pitino came in, they were absolutely perfect for Kentucky. And Mark Pope has come in, and I mean, he has literally knocked it out of the park. First and foremost, though, he's won. And, we can parse records and all this stuff and everything, but, 2012 was that last national championship at Kentucky. And Pope has come in, and what's he got? He's got 5 or 6 wins over top 15s already. He did it the other night like at Tennessee. He's lost a couple that he shouldn't have lost. Shouldn't have lost at Clemson. Shouldn't have lost to Ohio State up in Madison Square Garden. But you've seen the stuff on social media. Guy in a wheelchair at Mississippi State, and he walks up to the concourse to talk to the guy after the game. He's got Special Olympians there for practice. One night he had a short turnaround, and he couldn't stay as late as he wanted to. He had to get to a scout and couldn't autograph balls for fans. So he paid for everybody about 4,000 or 5,000 who were still there. He paid for them to have their ice cream bought there at Rupp Arena. And so from that standpoint, he's hit all the notes. And Cal did that early on, I think up until 2012. And then I think the thing that probably, nobody would ever come out and say it, but he and Mitch Barnhart, the AD, just didn't gee and haw during his last time there. And I think that, and I'm not saying who's at fault or anything like that, but I think that kind of made Cal more closed off. There were more recruiting situations where he didn't get a guy that he wanted, and then they had these great athletes that came in, and I think, the game changed on him. I mean, you can get all these 5 stars you want, but I think it's going to be interesting for you guys to see what he does next year and see if he tries to go out and get all these 5 stars again, or whether he does like a lot of people and tries to get old through the transfer portal.
Yeah, it seems like we're in a combination world, and it is going to be interesting to see how Cal handles this, Dave. Dave Baker from Lexington with his YTV with us, and longtime sportscaster there, host of the Kentucky Countdown Show on their radio network. How do you think Cal responds to a year of adversity like this that he hasn't, I don't know, seen maybe in his career in college?
Well, some people would say stubborn, but Cal believes in what Cal believes in, and he's very loyal to what he believes in and to the people he believes in. So there have been a number of people, and I don't think this is a criticism, but if you just see the way the game is going, I mean, everybody else that was having success was starting to go older, and he continued to go with those young guys. And we could go ahead and name names and do all that stuff, but the majority of those guys over the last 6-7 years, they did not have a great one-and-done year at Kentucky, but now they've gone on to have great NBA careers. And we know how he goes out recruiting with that notebook with all the contracts and everything, but, I mean, Bam Adebayo was a guy who was just very so-so at Kentucky, and that's because he was so young. Then he pops up on an Olympic team, pops up on an NBA team. Tyler Hero and Devin Booker didn't start. A lot of people, me included to this day, say if he had subbed out the Harrison twins and had Booker and Ulis on the court in that championship game, that he would have had another championship. And then, last year, he had what he thought was his starting lineup. And I don't say this lightly, but I think Reed Sheppard had one of the great freshman years in the long history of Kentucky basketball. And he started one game. And so, that doesn't mean the game has left Cal by or anything, but I mean, when he was a coach, as a young coach, and then after he went to the NBA and came back, I mean, he adjusted, and I haven't had a chance to talk to him. I don't know what his thought process is, but I'm just of the belief now, like, NBA, you're not winning with rookies. The big deal in the NBA is when those guys can get their first free agent contract and everybody trades places. And to me, that's basically what college basketball has turned into now.
Yeah, interesting. What do you think the matchup is on, what's it come down to on Saturday? Arkansas is a 10.5-point underdog.
Oh, I hadn't seen that line yet. I think at least for Kentucky, it all comes down to who's healthy. I mean, Lamont Butler played really well for him. He's probably their best perimeter defender. He had an ankle problem earlier in the year, and now he's been dealing with a shoulder that keeps getting tweaked. And while Pope isn't saying anything definitive, it does not sound like his return is imminent. Krisa is an energy guy. One of those Eastern European guys who comes over, and, I mean, he's been the motor for this team. He broke his foot. I believe it was against Clemson, and I think they're hoping they can get him back in a few weeks. And then Andrew Carr has played so well for him after 4 years at Wake Forest, and he's got a back, and those of us who are older knows what those things are like. You wake up one morning, you're fine, and next day you're not. So I really don't know what kind of health they're going to be into. I mean, obviously, I've watched some Arkansas basketball, not as much as those on the lunatic fringe, but it looks like Thero has stepped his game up. DJ Wagner continues to be really, really solid. I just got a ton of respect for him and his whole family. And, sometimes you see Z play well, and sometimes you see Z not play well or not play much at all. So I think from your all's perspective, it comes out, obviously you don't have Flan, but I think it comes down to, I think, how those three guys handle that return. Because except for Cal, I think those three guys are the only three guys where the emotion of coming back has an effect on. Because all those guys on Pope's team, I mean, they weren't there last year. They don't know any of the history with Cal. So I don't think that has an impact on them at all. But it's the toughest. It might be the toughest ticket at Rupp Arena. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Maybe since Pitino came in with the Unforgettables, they couldn't go to the NCAA tournament, and they beat an LSU team on the final day of the regular season with Shaq and I think it was Stanley Roberts or something like that. And that place was just, I mean, it was crazy. And so I think that's the kind of atmosphere it'll be tomorrow night.
Dave Baker, WKYT in Kentucky there in Lexington. Always a pleasure, my man. Thanks for hopping on with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Dave.
Look forward to seeing you guys. Bo, just jump on the plane with Chuck and just catch a ride. Come on.
I've got it. I am the carry-on bag.
Yeah.
I am.
Have a great weekend, man.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Dave.
You too, Dave.
See you there.
What a pro.
Yeah,
Always
he
a
is
great
good.
guy to have on. We got to hit a break.
Yeah, before we do, let me talk to you about Fayetteville Auto Park. 25 years in business, treating people the right way, treating people the way you want to be treated when you go buy an automobile. It does not have to be a process that, just makes you feel like you've been run through the ringer when it's over. It's not going to be that way at Fayetteville Auto Park. First off, they've got great brands: Honda, Acura, Chevy, Toyota. A wonderful pre-owned selection, about as big as you'll find in the region. You're going to get a good deal. That's a given. You're also going to get great service from an award-winning service department. You're going to get collision service if that need arises. They're award-winning in that department too. It's all there in one stop. Exit 67A or FayettevilleAutopark.com.
7:19, it's the Chuck and Bo Show on Friday. Good morning.
I think you should look at yourself today in the mirror and say, what's wrong with me?
Okay, I will.
I'm not talking about you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
If you suffer from sleep apnea, but you can't stand wearing your CPAP machine, I've got good news. And you need it because not wearing your CPAP can lead to severe health problems.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you don't have good sleep, you're not only affecting your body, it can affect your heart, it can affect your lungs, it can increase weight gain. If you don't get good sleep, you also are not filtering your brain well. So sleep's very, very important.
Dr. Scotty Boulding, who's an Arkansas native and world-renowned surgeon, has proven surgical alternatives that can improve your airway and help you breathe better.
If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Call Dr. Boulding's office today at 479-755-3000 for a consultation and tell them you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge. So I spent yesterday, you mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
Folks, it's that time of year again.
Mom, what's he talking about?
Matt, I have no idea.
It's hoop time, and in about a month, it's going to be baseball season.
And the Stadium Shop has everything you need.
Whether it's decorating your fan cave or getting something to wear for the game, we have what you need.
We even have Nike basketball jerseys, sideline apparel, even brands like Cutter and Buck and Champion.
Or how about something from Tommy Bahama or Coliseum for those Hawaiian shirt Sundays?
Guys, Nike baseball team hats and jerseys will get here about the 1st of February. Hey, Matt, do you know what's blue but doesn't weigh very much?
No, what?
Light blue.
Mom, please help.
Matt, there's no cure for a dad joke.
Folks, come by the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium, or shop us on them Insta WW book.
Dad, it's
Facebook.
the website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
The
Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I need Southern Siri. Sometimes when I ask Siri something, she says she can't understand what I'm saying. I think we need more regional Siri so they can understand the dialect.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I got to push back on a narrative here for a minute. And Dave was talking about it. Dave's a friend, and I know this is the narrative in Kentucky.
Well, nationally also.
But it doesn't play here. This narrative that Cal's got to get away from this one-and-done philosophy and go get some veterans. Have you looked at Arkansas's roster this year? Arkansas's got Carter Knox, Boogie Fland, who's out now, and Billy Richmond. Now, the only one of those guys that I look at and say, man, that's a surefire one-and-done is Boogie Fland. The injury may, complicates his season, but he's still going to be a one-and-done guy. But look at the guys who are playing right now. Adu, grad transfer. Nellie Davis, grad transfer. Trevin Brazil, junior. Adu Thero, junior. These two guys that came from Kentucky, Big Z and DJ, sophomores. In modern college basketball, that's veteran. The problem is the guys that are the veterans that were brought in have not performed the way they did at their previous schools for whatever reason. Maybe they've been hurt. Maybe it's just a whole different setup. For whatever reason, they've not performed the way they did at their previous schools. If they were, the narrative on Cal would be completely different. People would be talking about how he's done the same thing Saban did, because he has changed his philosophy. It's just those guys have not performed the way we thought they would. And so this idea that he's bankrolling one-and-dones, and that's the reason they can't win, that may have been the way it was at Kentucky at the end, in their minds. And he had a lot of one-and-done teams at Kentucky. I can tell you from doing games against Kentucky as Arkansas's broadcaster, man, from year to year, you'd have to pore over their roster because all the names were new. That was his philosophy. That's really not now. It's not the way this team's thrown together. It's just they've not performed like the veterans we thought they would. But
it is amazing.
There is a narrative out there that is it's about 4 years old, but it's still the narrative.
How we all just sort of go with the narrative if we don't stop and think about it.
That's right. Look at the roster.
I'm guilty of it too in all kinds of areas. You got to take a beat sometimes. Let me ask you this. Do you really believe that a Hall of Fame coach and all the success that John Calipari's had is going to go through this season and the 1-6 start in this adversity and put his feet up on a patio somewhere looking at the tropical sunset, have a Mai Tai, and just enjoy it? Or do you think he's going to work his rear off to prove everybody wrong? I'm betting on the latter every time, and you know what? That's a guy you want coaching your team. I mean, we're all going through it as a media member, as a talk show host, as a fan, as somebody that's given money, all the categories, the athletic director, everybody on the team, everybody's going through it. But I'm anxious to see this guy come out swinging. And I'm not just talking about this game on Saturday. This season is going to be what it's going to be, and maybe they'll turn it a little bit. Maybe they'll be in the hunt to make the tournament down the stretch. We'll see that play out. But, man, if you're telling me, hey, Arkansas is going to go hire a Hall of Fame coach who's bigger than life, and John Calipari. There's a front page article right now about him at ESPN.com. He's the reason more than 1 million people will watch this game on Saturday night. On just a middle-of-the-road Saturday night in college basketball, he's the reason that people will watch this game that normally wouldn't on Saturday night. But if you're going to tell me Arkansas is going to hire this guy, they're going to go through these financial things, they got to raise all this money, they got to do all this stuff, year one's going to stink, but do you still want him? I'm going to go yes.
Yeah. Look, this is a hard deal to go through right now.
But I think it makes him better.
Well, I
think he's saying that.
I hope so.
If we listen to him, he's saying, let me get better through this. Let me get better. Let's see what happens.
I think he will. And
so
look,
this idea that he doesn't want to adapt or that he doesn't care or he's not going to change, I don't believe that.
Look, he may not ever be a guy that you look at and say, man, he's bought into all our traditions, all our norms. He raises his hand higher than anybody else when he calls the Hogs and pumps his fist harder. And sometimes when we don't see that, we wonder if somebody's all in. And I think that's gone on to an extent this year. But this guy's a pretty intense competitor. And let's see where we are a year from now. That's a hard thing to hear. It's a hard thing to say because I know that our fans feel like, man, we've been hearing that forever. And I get it. But I just really think, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, there are so many parallels between this basketball season and Pitino's football season. I'm going to tell you, I've had a ringside seat for both. And there are too many parallels to count in my mind. And that turned out okay, and this will too.
877-377-6963. You're right. On all fronts, especially when we don't like this part, but we do like that part. Like there were certain things people loved about Muss, and there were things people didn't like about Muss. At the end of the day, what you really like is for your coach to win, and everything else matters a little bit less. But there are going to be, with every coach, things you like and things you don't like. I'm just saying from a results standpoint, I would expect things to get much better in year two.
I view us as being in basketball purgatory right now. That's kind of how I view it. And let's get through this season and let him load his roster up. I mean, really load it up. Not throw it together, load it up. And when you look at who they've signed and who they're in on there's a pretty good chance that's going to happen.
Thank you, Chuck. It is National Inspire Your Heart Day, and you have inspired all of us with that. 877-377-6963. You can text or call. What to Watch is brought to you by Macadoodles, and guess who in Bentonville? The Senior Bowl is tomorrow.
Senior Bowl's tomorrow. The East-West Shrine game was last night.
We'll look in on how Gregory and
they didn't stat. They didn't stat.
They didn't have stat.
I didn't see the game. I looked at the box score.
So we don't really have much to report there.
Well, I mean, if they didn't stat, then there's not much to talk about. No.
These games, for the record, are more about the week and being able to perform in front of.
That's exactly right.
It's like a pro day, but with competition.
Yes,
and
particularly
not
the Senior
about the
Bowl.
game. Yeah,
particularly the Senior
Bowl. And that's
Bowl.
what's going on tomorrow. But it'll be sort of an exhibition football game. Landon Jackson, Isaac Teslaw will be a part of that. And it's at 2:30.
If you've not made your
1:30 Central Time on the NFL Network.
Pardon me. If you go to these games, like you play in the Shrine game or the Senior Bowl, if you've not made your mark by kickoff, it doesn't matter. You can have a great game and you're not going to make your mark because these games, you do your business during the week, and it's how you do all the things they want you to do that determine whether they're really interested.
Whatever it is you're watching over the weekend, whatever the occasion may be, the best assortment to get all your goods to have a party or a watch party is at Macadoodles, and guess who? The best assortment of beer, wine, and spirits. But to me, it's the level of service. The customer service is out of this world. They'll walk you through the entire store for as long as it takes to find exactly what you want, and nobody's got a better selection. 7 days a week, they've got wine tasting, open to close. Wine tasting. Tasting.
Taste that wine.
And Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they got the tasting bar to try the different spirits like the bourbons that you maybe haven't tried before, you didn't like to look into. And they've got a special allocated section of stuff that you just don't find anywhere. It's at Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and guess who in Bentonville? Macadoodles. What to watch? We'll do it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday here on the Chuck and Bo Show. It's Friday and 7:34. Good morning.
I'm not telling you that everything's great. I'm also not willing to say everything's terrible.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
Our New Year's sale is on at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Get total New Year's savings up to $13,000 on select in-stock new 2024 Silverados. That's up to $13,000 in total savings on a new Silverado. Limited time only during our New Year's sale at Chevrolet of Fayetteville in the Fayetteville Auto Park. Chevrolet, together let's drive. ChevroletofFayetteville.com. Savings include dealer discounts and all incentives on select models. Must qualify. See dealer for details. Expires 3/3/25.
Yeah, does Chuck sleep that much? Because it just sometimes.
He's old, so when you get old, you don't really sleep as much.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Burlsworth with his new glasses. Looks like Clark Kent. This guy is dominating offensively. Dean, he's also a quality guy. We had more fun talking with him. He was a walk-on. Now he's an All-American. He also is brilliant. He's a great student. Last week he got his MBA. The guy is just what cop football is all about.
I've been called everything. Clark Kent, Kurt Rambis, Drew Carey, you name it, I've been called it.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage. It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, Wildcat!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren. Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about. A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
Folks, it's that time of year again.
Mom, what's he talking about?
Matt, I have no idea.
It's hoop time, and in about a month, it's going to be baseball season.
And the Stadium Shop has everything you need.
Whether it's decorating your fan cave or getting something to wear for the game, we have what you need.
We even have Nike basketball jerseys, sideline apparel, even brands like Cutter and Buck and Champion.
Or how about something from Tommy Bahama or Coliseum for those Hawaiian shirt Sundays?
Guys, Nike baseball team hats and jerseys will get forget here about the 1st of February. Hey, Matt, do you know what's blue but doesn't weigh very much?
No, what?
Light blue.
Mom, please help.
Matt, there's no cure for a dad joke.
Folks, come by the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum-Walker Stadium, or shop us on them Insta WW book.
Dad, it's
Facebook.
the website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you stuck in a paper jam of printer prices? Paper cuts from budget cuts? Don't throw in the towel. Call Dixie Digital Imaging and dive into our new and used inventory blowout. We're slashing prices on top-of-the-line Xerox, Brother, and Epson printers and multifunction devices. Gently used or brand new models that are tired of being in our warehouse. Don't miss out on these deals. Call 479-783-6600 for more details. Quantities and availability are limited. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I mean, we are one extreme to the other. Either we're headed to wine and roses for the rest of our lives, or the whole world's going to hell. I mean, it's one of the two.
Just a really healthy mentality to have, too.
That's right.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I know you've been wondering, Chuck. Justin Timberlake is 44 today. So,
I have been wondering.
So happy birthday to JT. By the way, how many days removed are we from your birthday? Just a couple.
Yeah, a couple.
If I was mayor, like Lexington, where they named it National Basketball Week or whatever, Basketball Week in Lexington, it'd be Chuck Barrett Week here in the great state of Arkansas. I guess you can't make a proclamation for the whole state if you're just the mayor. So, yeah. As mayor of the Chuck and Bo Show, it is Chuck's birthday week. Jason in Fayetteville, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, guys.
Hey,
Couple
Jason.
Things, and I'll touch on them fast so I don't hold you up. Happy belated, Chuck. I hope you didn't do a shot for every year like in college.
That's a good one. No, I did not. I wouldn't be here.
He had them lined up. He had a lemon drop, a green tea, an orange tea, a white tea, and a fireball. 5 days with shots.
So as far as the Calipari thing goes, I just have really one sentence to kind of sum up my thoughts on him, and I'm just going to go with Rome wasn't built on a day, in a day, sorry. It'll get there. Remember, he got in later than most coaches, and this is the first year, so everybody just needs to be patient. What I really wanted to talk about was the atmosphere at our college basketball games these days in Fayetteville. I was a student when Jim Robkin was here in Barnhill, and it was amazing. I've taken daughter to several campus visits and been to other basketball games, and I just want to point out the Florida game and the Ole Miss game. You know, we're grasping, we're pressing. And at the beginning of the game, we go on these runs, and the crowd is just ready to go bananas. And instead of the band and the cheerleaders and calling the hogs and doing what most people do and what we used to do when things could get really electric, out walks the guy with the microphone, and we do French fry races and tic-tac-toe. It's like the cops come into a high school party. It's the biggest buzzkill ever. And I think they need to reevaluate that. And I'm not calling any names, J-Dub, but we've got to change the culture of the way we hype the crowd. It's tired. Everybody on all my text groups, 45 to 55-year-olds, are just so anti the way we do it now. And you see these things pop up on your Facebook feeds and your Instagram feeds and old pictures of Jim Robkin, and we're like, man, why can't we just have a hype person like him again that just runs and goes crazy instead of I know you got to pay the sponsors for these silly games, and the talking on the microphone by the one guy's it's tired. We need to move on. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the show.
I've heard a lot of this, Jason, and I appreciate the call. And listen, I know we were just in the break talking about something that we didn't like about our own show. And it's a battle. And I'll just be honest with you. Like, doing production, when we go to restaurants, when we go and we're a customer somewhere, we rarely think about all that goes into it. Now, that's our job. So our job here to do what we feel like is the best job we can do. But I, as a production guy, sometimes am frustrated by different games, and not just at Arkansas, but different venues. And then I go to other venues, and I'm amazed. And some of this stuff is pre-planned. There's a script, and you follow the script. And there may be an occasion where you have to call an audible. And you got to go, we're not going to do that right now. And look, when you're winning, it's all easy. Like the flow, it kind of almost takes care of itself. But when you're not, or when there's a struggle, or it's not coming as easy in anything, you got to try to do a little extra to make it fit and flow and feel right. But I have felt those moments, and I hear that frustration. You start winning, that stuff kind of goes away. But environments at a game, I've always said this. Like if you go to a football game, the pregame leading up to kickoff should be a crescendo to the ball, to the foot hitting the ball. And if there's these lags and these gaps and whatever, you notice it. You know, like you can't get all revved up and hyped up, and then there's 2 minutes of nothing before we kick the ball off.
Yeah, I got my headsets on during all this stuff, and I'm hearing commercials and trying to figure out what we're going to say when we come back. So I don't pay as close attention to
the
it.
Highland Dairy 3-point update.
Yeah, I got to get the 3-point update in there. And so, you know, there's just stuff you got to do. So I don't pay as much attention to it as some do. Now, look, I'm going to say this. I think John and Talia do a great job. I've known John since he was in his 20s, and I think John's enormously talented. They're simply executing a plan that was laid out by someone else. I mean, they are the talent. They're not the ones in charge. All I'm going to say about it's this. I travel, obviously, around the SEC. The same acts that perform here perform at the other places. The same games we do here, they do at other places. There was a time when, and I'm old enough to remember, and I'm like Jason, I was in school when Jim Robkin ran the band, and so I've seen it all, and so I'll comment on it. There was a time when other places came here to figure out what they wanted to do to charge up their basketball arena. The old hands know what I'm talking about. In the 90s, every school in the league that was trying to either build a basketball arena or build an atmosphere, they came here because they wanted to know how we did it, how they did it. I didn't have anything to do with it. I'm using the collective we. But they wanted to know how Arkansas did it. Kind of seems like everybody's doing the same thing now. And that's my only observation because I don't know, as I say, I got my headsets on and I got other things on my mind.
Well, everybody wants to look better, including you and me personally, and the Sweating 'em Edge can change that. They can help with that. And just like a team, we all face challenges. We're talking about how do we get better? We face challenges with our health and vitality as men. First thing we got to do is find out what the challenges are. Then we got to get a coach and a development and a game plan that can help us make the best decisions for us, and that's what they do with the Sweating 'em Edge at Sweating 'em Cosmetic. Go to sweating'emcosmetic.com. Get your free evaluation today. It's something Chuck and I have both done. Highly recommend it. I can tell you I'm way better off because of it. Sweating 'em Edge, the Sweating 'em Edge, sweating'emcosmetic.com. It's Friday on the Chuck and Bo Show. We want to hear from you. If you want to get in here, you are welcome to. We're going to hear from the GOAT at 8:02 this morning. Do I need to say who the GOAT is?
Understood.
7:47 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Bo, you said something interesting. I don't think you meant to, but when you talked about Phil's...
The Chuck and Bo Show.
With Oaklawn Sports, the action never stops and the season is never over. It's now easier than ever to wager on your favorite sports all year long. Go from football to basketball to baseball to golf. Bet on what you want, when you want, with the brand you trust. Oaklawn Sports even offers ways to bet on cricket, rugby, table tennis, and more. If it's a sport, chances are you can wager on it. Plus, it's now simpler to deposit and withdraw money from your account. Bet all year long with Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, PRECIDENT. We'd love to help.
Fayetteville Auto Park has been Northwest Arkansas's premier automotive dealer for a long time. There's a reason for that. It starts with great brands: Acura, Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota. Plus, they've got a huge pre-owned inventory. They've got an on-site collision center. And that really is what makes them your one-stop automotive headquarters. The best brands, the best people, the best service, and the best selection. Whatever your automotive needs, Fayetteville Auto Park.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party, or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
It's time to start the year strong at Heartland Honda Power Sports and Marine. Don't miss our first huge sale of 2025, featuring unbeatable discounts and exclusive incentives on many of your favorite Honda rides, like Honda Ranchers, Honda Pioneers, and Honda Goldwing, plus so much more. Whether you're tackling trails or cruising in style, we've got the perfect ride for you. Visit Heartland Honda in Springdale today and make 2025 your best year yet. Heartland Honda, work hard, play hard. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet, eye protection, close side nets and doors, and always wear seatbelts. Honda ATVs side-by-sides are 16 years and older.
Ty Richardson for American Patriot Promotions. They have their Meet a Gun show coming up Saturday, February 1st and Sunday, February the 2nd. The American Patriot Promotions Meet a Gun show is located at the Polk County Fairgrounds in Meta. Tickets are just $10 per person and only $8 for veterans, military, police, and first responders. For more information on this event, go to AmericanPatriotPromotions.com. American Patriot Promotions is the best avenue for outstanding gun shows.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Courtside with Fort Smith Public Schools.
Pretty exciting. First time that we've done a podcast, and we're going to try to promote Fort Smith Public Schools, what we do with our basketball at all 6 schools, the 4 middle schools and both high schools. And then, of course, you know, we've got several big-time tournaments coming up, one that starts today. And so this is going to be exciting.
Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports. New episode every week on the Hit That Line podcast network and on hitthatline.com.
Cadence for 3, it's on the way.
Yes! Yes! You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I've called and told them 5 times now. The bank account listed on there no longer belongs to me. In fact, it doesn't exist anymore. It's one of the things that happens when you get divorced.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Still hadn't changed. By the way, can we let's get rid of that? It reminds me of things that I don't want to remember.
I was going to say,
like,
man,
good gosh.
I think the first time that played, you should have said, I don't ever want to hear that again.
I've said that about so many things.
Yeah.
You know,
I always want to say one of the things.
The in-game production.
That's
the
right.
In-game production of the Chuck and Bo Show. 877-377-6963.
Sorry, I didn't collect my trash before we came back from the
you
break.
mowed
here.
through that breakfast bar.
Well, I did. I was hungry.
Congrats to Izzy Higginbottom for 33 points and 10 boards last night.
7 assists.
Was it 10? Yeah, 10 boards and 7 assists. 72-51. Mike Neighbors' Arkansas women's basketball team beats A&M. Got the Senior Bowl tomorrow. Got Kentucky and Arkansas on Saturday night. And we got baseball in 2 weeks.
Well, and the Super Bowl a week from Sunday.
So we got that to kind of hold us over to baseball.
Yeah, baseball coming up.
And the GOAT, DVH, is going to join us coming up.
There you
Got
go with the bobblehead
right,
right there.
Yeah, the GOAT. Head nod. Norm DeBryan right next to him. Head nod.
You know, I was thinking about that the other day. I guess, what's it been, 50, almost 55 years now? Arkansas's had 2 baseball coaches.
That's pretty awesome.
Isn't that incredible?
And it's also been a great run.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why. By
And
the way,
philosophically, I won't say identical because the game's changed, but very similar.
yeah, by the way, I think we should talk about it again at some point today. I want you to come back and reiterate your pushback on the narrative about Cal.
You want to do it now?
Well, I mean, we're not too far removed.
Yeah, I
from
was going to say, maybe in the 8 o'clock hour.
I was going to point this out about Izzy Higginbottom.
Yeah.
The transfer from Arkansas State that at 5'7" or whatever has just been lighting up the SEC somehow. The 4th game of at least 30 points this season. She entered the game last night, 5th in the nation, and leading the SEC with a scoring average of 23.2 a game. I mean, this girl's having a year.
Oh, she's...
a year.
And she's carrying the whole team on
Right.
her back. And that's no disrespect to the other players. It's just the reality.
It is, and I think everybody would acknowledge that. Hot Chocolate Day, National Hot Chocolate. You like hot chocolate?
Yeah, I got to be in the mood, but I like it.
Also, Big Wig Day, National Big Wig Day.
Yeah. Are you a big
I
wig?
need to get these ahead of time so I can wear a big wig. Oh, that's a better way of saying it.
Is it
No,
like
you're
the
a
big wig, the big hairpiece, or like
It
Edward's
is.
a big wig?
It is, but we're going to change it.
Edward, it's not.
We're going to change it. You're a big wig.
You are a big wig,
You're
Bo.
a big wig.
Yeah, that's it.
You're a big,
You got a
you're a
big
big
head.
wig
You
who
got
needs
a
to take a
wig, it would be
big
huge.
swig from a flight by Yingling.
Being a Razorback fan isn't just about the game. It's about the community, the tradition, and the moments that matter. At Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, they understand the importance of those moments. That's why they offer a selection of fine jewelry that goes beyond the ordinary, just like our hogs. Visit Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers, where you'll find that perfect piece to celebrate your Razorback spirit and the special moments in your life. Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former quarterback and now coach Ty Story talk about his great LASIK results with McDonald Eye. The surgeons there have done more LASIK procedures than anybody in the state of Arkansas and have helped numerous athletes get better results through improved vision. When it comes to vision, nobody sees it like McDonald Eye.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatnomcosmetic.com and click on the Sweat No Edge.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Save Sports Radio.
The Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will be in and out of the clouds. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be in the mid-50s, falling to right around 50 this afternoon, further south in the lower 60s. We will see a clear to partly cloudy sky tonight, areas of fog possible, upper 30s, and then increasing sunshine Saturday, a high low 60s. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
If you live near Alex, Alma, Branch, Bloomer, Mountainburg, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect Internet may be available to you right now. Wave is now serving a few non-member areas and adding more in the coming months. Check availability online. Sign up.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
They're on a mission. This team wants to make sure that we get to the end.
Call them the Omahawks. Yes, sir.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio.
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text or use bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. Proud to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, a Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, a Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal.
Call or text today at 479-719-5605. That's a Cut Above, 719-5605.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Hey, we're having a party. It's just you and me, man. I think I'll pass.
Just see you show up and you're like, where is everybody? Yeah, they couldn't last.
I've had a couple of 12-packs cooling in the car while I was gone. I show up. The only person there's Bo.
Here's a cigar. What do you want to talk about on Monday?
Really. Let's do a little show prep.
Let's sit out in the garage.
Yeah. Everybody's asleep, so let's go sit out in the garage.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a call play, and I called it, Chuck.
Back to Save Sports Radio.
I'm ready to roll right
Can you believe we're doing this?
This brings back.
Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two bald white guys with a face for radio.
Here is Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Still searching for that intelligent sports radio.
Yeah,
show.
one of these days, man.
We're going to get some help right now. It's 8:03 on the Chuck and Bo Show, and we welcome in the GOAT, Dave Van Horn. Coach, it's great to have you on. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
9 College World Series. We were talking about it the other day. I know you don't probably sit around and think about that, but can you believe it's been this long? And can you believe you're about to start another season, or has it felt like you've been waiting for the season to begin forever?
A little bit of both, honestly. Definitely looking forward to the season. Really like the guys that are on the team, their makeup of the team, personalities. It's been fun being around these guys since they walked in the door in late August, and it's just about here. And but at the same time, it's kind of hard to believe how many years I've been at Arkansas. It seems like it's flown by, but it's been a great experience.
How do you refuel every year, Dave?
Yeah, I kind of have a routine a little bit mentally. And I talk to my assistant coaches about it a lot, just talking about how if you want to do this for an extended period of time, you gotta figure out a way mentally to get away from it here and there. It can't be weeks at a time, obviously, but a day here and a day there. And I just do, it's just kind of a way of life and a routine, a mental routine, and try to stay in shape as best you can, because you're always, it's an active job. You're not sitting around a whole lot, and it kind of keeps you young, honestly, being around these guys. It's always something interesting every day, usually. So,
I'll bet so.
But I really enjoy my job.
There's been so many changes over the years. And I just think back when you got here and then how you sort of built on what Coach Brian had, and then it just has gotten to a really consistent top 10 program every year. What is it like having developed a program where it feels like the expectation is you got to go to Omaha every year? And how do you just sort of, does it change how you approach things from back when you were sort of building to get to that point?
Well, back when we were trying to get there, it just seemed like we just couldn't quite get over the hump. We didn't have enough pitching. We didn't have enough hitting. One or the other, I think about some of those teams like in 2011, 13, we had a ton of pitching. We didn't hit, and we didn't hit because we kept losing all our hitters in the draft, and our pitchers were sneaking through. And, you had 11.7 scholarships, and you look up, and you've got 8 scholarships in pitching and 3.5 in position players, well, you're probably not going to be able to hit. And that's just the way it is. And you couldn't go, get a kid out of the transfer portal. You couldn't do some things. The draft is over, and what it was is what it was, and kids couldn't be eligible to jump around a little bit. So I think this day and age, we just have to kind of be a general manager a little bit more and really look at what we need and how can we afford to get them and, just get the right guys. But we've always done a good job of recruiting, and we've always tried to get the best high school players in this area and then go from there. And if we keep some, we can build around them, and we're still doing that now. And we've been fortunate to keep a few good players. We lose a bunch too, but you have to over-recruit. You have to recruit every day, and mentally you probably never get a day off from recruiting. And I have good coaches, and it's just made things a lot better.
You get asked a lot, I know, about how it's all changed with NIL and scholarships and stuff like that. I wonder how coaching your team, managing a game, has changed as the way the game's played from the big leagues on down has been changed or has changed. How's that affected the way you handle just the game itself on a day-to-day basis?
Well, the teams are older, and we're older. You know, the days of starting 2 freshmen in the field and 3 sophomores and a couple juniors and maybe 1 senior that slipped through the draft or wasn't that type of guy, probably over. You know, at this level in the SEC, you're going to see a lot of juniors and some transfers, and it's going to be a freshman or 2 in there, some sophomores, but you're never really going to be too young anymore. So, you know, you coach the older guys a little bit differently than the young ones. You try to protect them a little bit from a lot of failure. You get them in, you get them out. You know, now you kind of go with it. The development situation, you know, you develop a lot of guys in the fall, and you develop them in practice, pre-game, because they're not playing in the real games as much. And but as far as, you know, how we act to our players, we don't change anything. We're not sugarcoating anything. We're just working. And, you know, I don't know, Chuck, baseball's still baseball. If you throw strikes and you field, you've got a chance to be in the game. And that's what we've done a really good job of over the last few years. The hitting fin, it was good. 18, 19 we hit, 20 we were going to hit, then COVID hit. And then we could kind of see it, that we were going to really pitch, maybe not quite as offensive. You know, 2 years ago when we had Josenberger and, you know, Wagner, and those 2 kids got hurt towards the end of the year, that really hurt our offense. We could hit as a team, but you take those 2 guys out and we struggled. And then obviously last year we struggled, and we flipped the switch on that a little bit. So kind of rambling on, it's year to year and it's team to team now, because you don't have a lot of kids that are in their 3rd year in your program anymore.
I know, or at least I think you said at the end of last year, you wanted a team this coming season that could run a little bit more, maybe a little bit more athletic. Tell us about how that's progressed. Yeah,
It was really just being a little more athletic and work on it, and we worked on it a lot. You know, you can have kids that can run and athletic kids, but you've also got to practice it. You can't just say, oh, hey, the wind's blowing in 15 today from right, and they've got a good pitcher. I guess we'll try to steal some bases. It's not going to happen. You're going to get thrown out, and you know. But we started from day one with the way we handled our base running, the way we maybe ran our practices, kind of changed it up a little bit as far as, you know, maybe a little bit more of what we did, you know, days gone by, so to speak, in other years. And I still believe this. If you're going to win at this level, you've got to have power. Because in the Southeastern Conference, the pitching is so good in league play, it's hard to get 2 and 3 hits in an inning. So you got to hit some home runs to score and break open a game with a two-run homer or 3-run homer after a walk and a single. But you've also got to be able to score some in other ways, and we've really worked on that this year. And we'll see how that turns out, but at least we put in a big effort on it.
Dave Van Horn with us on the Chuck and Bo Show this morning. Coach, how about the general manager part of your job that you mentioned a second ago, and how that's really ramped up? NIL's a part of it. Transfer portal's a part of it. This is a different job for sure, right?
It is in a way. I mean, you still, bottom line, you got to get them in here and you got to coach them up and you got to make them better and develop in those type of things best you can. But you do have to try to figure out how to fill in the spots that you're going to lose. And the problem is that the draft is in July instead of June. School starts in August. Kids that are in the portal, some of them are draft eligible because they're going to be a senior, or they're a 5th-year senior that had a redshirt year because of an injury or something, and they're not sure if they're going to get drafted or if they're going to sign that beautiful free agent contract that can get us. And, you just don't know who's going to be here, but we try to piece it together as best we can. We try to make sure that we've got some younger guys that have a lot of talent, and maybe they don't play a lot as a freshman, but we know they're going to make a jump and be that guy as a sophomore. And our job is to make sure they're that guy and then recruit around them and instead of over them, and put our money and scholarship and whatever we've got into few guys here and there and some pitching. And we've done a pretty good job of it, and I think this year might be one of the better jobs we've done with it.
Seems like you're loaded on the mound again. Obviously, it's got to go play out, but certainly that's the on paper what it looks like. How would you describe your overall team? I know you mentioned a couple times you filled some holes and you feel good about it, but how would you describe the makeup of this team?
Well, the key for us is that we returned some really good pitching, that it was young last year, that gained a lot of experience. Some of those guys that didn't gain as much as some, they went out and pitched in summer ball and did really well. And, it's the same with a couple position players, like Ryder Helfrich, our catcher, went out and made the All-Star team in the Cape. And Tate McGuire, pitcher, made the All-Star team in the Cape. And I could go on and on. And then we filled in with some older outfielders. And, we snuck our third baseman through here that was at a junior college that, that's from Australia. We thought he would sign pro, and good for him. He held to his money. They didn't give it to him and said, go prove it at this level. And, he's a good player, and he's gotten a lot better since he's been here. Offensively, he put up huge numbers, and now defensively he's working hard and he's pretty good over there. So, I don't know, the makeup of the team, if you're just talking about the mental makeup of the team, I really like the team. We've got a transfer, a transfer from TCU, Florida Gulf Coast, some athletic kids in the outfield that have hit. And, I could go on and on, but I really like the makeup of the team for bringing so many new guys in every year. They have gelled pretty well together, and it's one of our main priorities in the fall is to figure out how to get this team to gel. And honestly, last year's team liked each other, but they didn't really hang out. It was a little scattered, and I think this year's team's a lot farther along than last year's team.
Dave, I've had to laugh a time or two during basketball season when I've heard people say that, gosh, basketball is like baseball now. There's going to be 12 or 13 teams get into the tournament. You guys have been dealing with this for 20 years. What's it like week in and week out? You may be in first place, but you know that the team that's in last place is like one or two plays. That's about all the difference there is. The intensity of 3 games over 3 days. Try to describe that, if you would.
Well, first off, Coach Calipari said that early, and then I ran into him a day later and said, hey, I loved your comment. And he said, well, I've seen it. And he was in the league up there for, 15 years or whatever, and he saw what went on. And it is baseball. Seriously, since I've been here, maybe not every year early, there were some teams that if you play well, you're going to win 2 out of 3, and you knew it. There's none of those left anymore. If you don't play well, you'll lose 2 out of 3. And if they play really good and you play really good, it's going to be a fight. And you kind of wear yourself out just talking about the 3-game series every weekend. Mm-hmm. And I know some of the fans get all uptight if we get beat by an in-state school or, don't play well on a Tuesday or Wednesday. And a lot of times we just have to pick and choose how we're going to handle it. I guess I do, and the coaching staff, just like, are we going to catch our starting catcher for the 4th day in a row? Are we going to do this? Are we going to do that? And you got to rest those guys, or you're going to get beat on the weekend. It could cost you a game. And our league is, it's AA baseball. It really is on the weekend. I'm not saying during the week, but, the guys we're facing on the mound are all in the mid-90s, even the left-handers now. And, we've got a couple kids that have hit 100, 101. We've got 3 or 4 kids that if you say go pitch for 2 innings right now, they're going to sit at 97, 98. That's better than big league average velocity. The guys in the big leagues are just more polished, and they know how to save themselves so they can make it through 162 games or how many games they have to pitch, whatever. But the SEC in baseball is such a grind, and it just wears you down. And, honestly, the last couple of years, I think we've maybe put a little too much emphasis on winning the league or the division. We've only won the last 6 years, which is unheard of. honestly.
Mm-hmm.
When you really take a step back and look at it, when you got the LSUs in our league, the Mississippi States, the Ole Misses, and these are teams that won the national championship. And I told our coaches, hey, I want to win every game, but, I want to win at the end of the year. So people maybe need to get over a little bit if it doesn't go great in league play this year.
Yeah, that's a good perspective. Coach, a lot of great perspective for us. Thanks for hopping on with us, and good luck this season. I know we're a couple of weeks out. We hope to do it again soon with you.
Okay, thanks for having me. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Always. Thanks. Dave Van Horn. I mean, what great insight right there to somebody who's done it at such a high level for so long here. And always learning and always sharing with you, here's what I'm learning, here's what we're doing different. You kind of feel like you're in there. 8:18, we got to hit a break. It's the Chuck and Bo Show, Friday morning. Glad you're here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, well, congratulations, Coach.
I made some good calls today.
You sure did. You sure did.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit gopaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatnomcosmetic.com and click on the Sweat No Edge.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former quarterback and now coach Ty Story talk about his great LASIK results with McDonald Eye. The surgeons there have done more LASIK procedures than anybody in the state of Arkansas and have helped numerous athletes get better results through improved vision. When it comes to vision, nobody sees it like McDonald Eye.
You want to talk about washed? You're being brainwashed by idiots. You're following idiots.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas is special. Our people are honest and hardworking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is pure Arkansas. We were raised here, we live here, and we're straight shooters. Unfortunately, out-of-state lawyers who care nothing about Arkansas are advertising for your legal business. They don't understand that you don't hand Arkansans a pile of cow dung and try to tell us it's a rose. Don't be just a number. Call the Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Herod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're something else.
Yeah. Oh.
You're something else. In
What
fact,
do you mean?
Well, very few combine something and else quite like you do.
Okay.
Let me just put it that way. You're something else.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was National Compliment Day.
Yeah, that's a backhanded compliment, really. I choose to celebrate National Backhanded Compliment Day.
Okay.
So
you're selective.
That
that's
was
for
my
sure.
celebration. That was my celebration.
Are you
that
participating in Inspire Your Heart Day today?
Day. My heart's inspired every day, Bo. When I come in here and I enjoy your fine company and Edwards, and how can you not be inspired?
I haven't gotten around to reading this story that's on the front page of ESPN.com about Cal's return to Kentucky, but I'm sure I will. It's on the college basketball page.
I'm just sad we don't have Bart here to provide his locks for this ball game, so he could say that Arkansas is going to cover. At 10.5, I think that's what he would say.
Forget that. They need to go win the game.
Well, I'm just saying, Bart picks things from a gambler's perspective. I'm just saying, I think that Edward gambles. I mean, as long as we're throwing stones.
Do we?
As long as we're throwing stones.
Chuck gambles too, but he couches it with only on the horse races.
That's right.
And only in Australia at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I only drink beer. I'm not an alcoholic. I only drink beer.
Yeah, it's like Landman.
That's right, yeah.
I'll come in here tomorrow and I'll drink 5 bourbons. You tell me if it's the same as drinking this light beer.
That was a great line.
Yeah.
That was a great line.
We're brought to you in part by Flight by Yingling. It's got that great Yingling taste, but it's a light beer. The next generation of light beer, it's Flight by Yingling. You pushed back on the narrative.
I did. I'm looking at the roster right now, and this is the one thing. Now, look, there are lots of narratives about the basketball team this year. When you're 1-6, it's out of your control. The idea that you can set the narrative when you're 1-6, forget it. You can't. But there's the one thing, and Dave Baker talked about it earlier. Dave's a friend of mine. I like Dave. And I know Kentucky fans that are halfway decent people. And they all say the same thing. Cal's got to get away from this one-and-done thing. I mean, he's just got to learn that you can't win with guys like that. I don't care if they go to the NBA or not. And I'm sitting here looking at Arkansas's roster, and I'm like, well, I don't know what it was like there. I mean, I do, but I don't know up close what it was like there. But I know when I look at this roster, where are all these one-and-dones you're talking about? Where's this roster filled with freshmen who are only going to be here 1 year? Where is it? I mean, you got Boogie, you got Carter Knox, you got Billy Richmond. The only surefire one-and-done in that bunch is Boogie. And I still think he will be, even despite the injury. Carter Knox, Billy Richmond, I'm not saying they won't go, but you don't look at him and say, man, that is a surefire one-and-done player. Now, his Kentucky teams were filled with those players. You know, I mean, that 1 year they won it all. What'd they have, like 4 starters and 2 or 3 backups get drafted? I mean, it was insane. And that was a routine thing there. This roster, I mean, look at the roster. Nellie Davis, grad transfer. Jonas Adu, grad transfer. Adu Thero, Jr. Trevin Brazil, Jr. DJ Wagner and Big Z, sophomores, which in modern college basketball makes you a full-fledged veteran. The problem is the guys that have played other places that you've brought in have not put up the numbers you thought they would. Now, maybe it's been injury for whatever reason. The numbers have just not been there. If Nellie Davis, and I'm not knocking any player, specifically, but I'm saying if Nellie was playing the way he played that year at FAU, if Adu was healthy and was playing the way he played at Tennessee, this team would look different. This team would, if some of these veteran players were putting up the numbers that people thought they would, we'd be talking about how Cal's changed just like Saban did in football. I mean, this is not a one-and-done roster. This is probably the most veteran-laden roster he's had in a while, if you really put the microscope to it. It's just that for whatever reason, these veterans have not put up the numbers we expected them to. But the narrative that Arkansas is 1-6 in conference play because Cal won't change his ways, that's just blatantly false. And it does not stand up under the microscope.
He has changed. You're exactly right. And he changed to go one and done, and then he changed out of one and done, and then he changed this year to I'm only going to get like 9 players. He got more, but that's what he was going to focus on. And now he's being criticized for that part simply because it's not working. They're not failing because they only have 9 players.
Everybody plays 8 and 9.
Like this idea. What do you think of the criticism? He can
9.
never make that mistake again.
Well, I think if you're going to get 8 or 9, if you are bound and determined, I'm going to play 8 or 9 guys, that's it. Well, those 8 or 9 better be good, and you better not miss on those 8 or 9. And unfortunately, the injury bug has hampered that. I'm not saying it's the reason, but I'm saying it's played a role this year. If you're going to play 8 or 9, they got to be a really good 8 or 9.
It makes sense to have more players. Try to get players that you can develop and will stick around. The problem is those guys don't really stick around. But just because you have 10, 11, 12 players, Chuck, doesn't mean those 3 guys at the end of the bench are really going to help you be any better if the guy in front of them got hurt. Like what do you expect? The guy's going to be as good?
Well, I
or
can
he's
tell
going
you
to replace
too,
the guy that isn't performing and he's suddenly going to be good? Why is he at the end of the bench?
most of your practices now, not just with this group, Muss's group, lots of groups. I won't say most, but a good number of practices now are your starters or your main guys going against older, bigger GAs. That's part of the reason basketball staffs are giant right now, because you got GAs on there, and a big part of what they do is practice and provide the scout every day. These are bigger, older guys. So the idea that you can have some fella at the end of the bench because he makes you better in practice, it's really not true anymore. There was a time when it was, but it's really not now.
Dave is in Van Buren. Dave, fire away. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck, you're talking about the one and done, but with this transfer portal, you almost have to consider every player one and done, because if they don't perform, they're going to want to go somewhere else, or if they don't feel like they get the playing time or develop right. So how do you not consider everybody one and done
Because
anymore?
one and done, what I'm talking about, one and done is 1 year of college basketball.
A rookie.
Yeah. I mean, a guy that's 18 years old is a one and done. He just come out of high school. He's going to the NBA like Boogie. I hear what you're saying, but you're splitting hairs. I mean, there's a difference between a first-year guy who's 22 or 23 and a first-year guy who's 18. In fact, really, there's no comparison.
It is true. You got to. Sorry, let me go back to you, Dave. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
On that high school kid.
Say that one more time.
Do you take a chance on that high school kid anymore when you can get a guy that's got a year in or 2 years in?
It depends. Depends
on what you need and who you get.
Yeah. I mean, that's look, there's high. I mean, look at Cooper Flagg. I mean, what's he, like 16 and a half? He's over there just dominating at Duke. So, yeah, there are players out there that you go get, but you've got to have the mix. And I honestly think, on paper, they've got a good mix this year. It's just that a perfect storm in many ways has happened, and it's just not come together. But in terms of the age difference, splitting veterans and newcomers on this team, I'm fine with the split. I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all.
We got to hit a break. 877-377-6963. Hey, don't forget, Blakeman's newly renovated store is open in Rogers. 10,000 square feet of some of the most beautiful stones, diamonds, and jewelry you'll ever find. Watches, stunning engagement rings, gifts that celebrate life's milestones. And a huge grand opening coming February 8th, but open now in Rogers Blakeman's. Proud to be a part of your Razorback journey. They are the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Blakeman's, where your search ends and your story begins. 8:32. Good morning.
Can we just say, for all of you who get up early in the morning and you work so hard, man, we're glad you're here. We just really appreciate all the work you do to make Arkansas better.
You talking to me?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
Bo, when your show went off a few years ago, it was like I've been lost ever since then. And I just really appreciate your show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I tell you what, I know this got a lot of guys with some big hearts. For 3 hours or however long, maybe 4 hours, we're the best team in the country today. And it's offense, defense, and special teams. There's some guys like Darren McFadden, baby. Y'all better put him in the Heisman. You better put him up there. I'm tired of him being number 4.
We got that wood right here, baby.
Somebody better look at this guy's the best football player in the country, and his name's not being mentioned. Lou Holtz, Mark May, number 5. You better look at him a little closer. He's a football player.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Arkansas is special. Our people are honest and hardworking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is pure Arkansas. We were raised here, we live here, and we're straight shooters. Unfortunately, out-of-state lawyers who care nothing about Arkansas are advertising for your legal business. They don't understand that you don't hand Arkansans a pile of cow dung and try to tell us it's a rose. Don't be just a number. Call the Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Herod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building.
Discover the Stonebridge.
Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Discover.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
And as you all know, I'm not best friends with John Calipari.
Fort Smith. The Party Place has everything you need for special occasions. Super Bowl parties, Mardi Gras celebrations, Valentine's decorations, and more. Party supplies for 1 to 100. Shop the Party Place in Fort Smith.
It's time to party. So come
Jones in the party place. Let's party.
The Party Place in the Tuesday Morning Building behind Ashley Furniture in Fort Smith.
Get ready for your party at the Party Place.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at AA.
I love the drama. You know, it's Kentucky, right? It follows us in everything we do. It's one of the beautiful things about getting a chance to play here in
95.3.
And so they run with it because it's red meat. And these guys know when they say it that people are going to run with it because it's red meat.
I just had a vision of people running with red meat.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I'll leave it to Rick Pitino to get involved.
I like
Cal's
Rick Pitino
return
getting involved.
to Lexington.
And as you all know, I'm not best friends with John Calipari. I respect him, certainly. But it was a mutual thing. The fans wanted a change. John read the tea leaves. He needed a change. And he really didn't want to leave. But what did he do for you? He brought the best talent in the history of the game of any university in America to Lexington. He also won a national championship. He also was, his style of play was extremely entertaining. So he's coming back on Saturday, and I want all of you to show the great class that you have. 23,000 plus people giving him a huge standing ovation. Show him what respect and admiration's all about. I know you have the class. I've always believed in you. Do it once again.
Okay, I just have some questions here. The first question I have is, what is Rick Pitino doing? He is sitting behind his desk. And I don't know if you've been at St. John's. And I don't know if you've been following his Twitter account, but I do. And occasionally he'll just deliver a message for the betterment of the world or the college basketball world, or at least he thinks it is. And he believes clearly that people want to hear what he has to say. So it's just like he sits down at his desk and he props his phone up on probably a bobblehead doll of himself, and he records a video and he posts it. Or worse yet, he probably has one of the GAs come in there and video it for him.
I had this vision of someone like crouching right by his desk, holding the phone while he's recording that.
Yeah. But I guess my second question is, what makes him think Kentucky fans want to hear his opinion on this?
Do you think he really meant what he said? I don't. I mean, I'm a little cynical, I will admit, but I don't think he meant that.
That's another point.
I don't think he meant it for a second.
That's. By the way,
you notice he didn't say, I think you should cheer for Cal the same way you cheered for me when I came back with Lou. They didn't cheer for him when he came back with Louisville.
I cut out let's listen to the very beginning. It was too long. We needed to get to that part. But now that we've played it, we can go back to the beginning.
Toughest day of my coaching career at Louisville was when I had to walk into Rupp Arena. Tried not to show it, but when I went home, the reception, it tore me up apart because I love that place so much. And it's interesting because I was speaking to Ed Cooley just recently about Providence, and he said he almost was brought to tears because of the bad feelings he got going back there. But this is different. And as you all know, I'm not best friends with John Calipari.
And then you heard the rest of it.
I don't know how it's different, but look, that was good of him to say. It doesn't mean anything. I mean, it really doesn't. I'm sorry. I like Rick Pitino, and I'm sure in that moment he was sincere in what he said, but it doesn't mean anything.
We don't talk about it. But Nolan Richardson, it took a while.
Sure.
I mean, it didn't end well, and it took a while for him to be sort of back in there getting standing O's. And it's great to see. And over time, all of these coaches get to go back over time.
They will. And look,
but this probably is not the time.
No, it's you know, Dave was talking earlier about how this hasn't happened before where the guy goes back the next year. I mean, it happened here on a smaller scale when Houston Nutt came back with Ole Miss. I mean, it's a smaller scale. I'm not comparing the two, but We've kind of been through that. I can remember even when Nolan's trial was going on, Coach Richardson's trial was going on with the university, and it was a bad deal. I can remember saying then that there will come a day when he will walk out there on that floor and there will be thunderous applause. And the same thing will happen for Cal at Kentucky. This very same thing will happen, but it's not going to happen tomorrow night.
If you have sleep apnea, you're struggling to sleep at night, you don't know what you have, but you know you're not breathing very well, that can all change, and it needs to change, because if you're not wearing a CPAP machine and you have sleep apnea, or you're just not sleeping well at night, it can lead to severe health problems like obesity, high blood pressure, heart condition, stroke, and even death. The President Center for Facial and Dental Medicine has alternative solutions and lasting solutions and permanent solutions and life-changing solutions, because Dr. Scotty Bolding, who's an Arkansas native and world-renowned surgeon, has worked at this and come up with ways that you can breathe better, improve your airway, and breathe better. Do yourself a favor. Log on to Precedent.com, 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 the Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine, or give them a call, 479-755-3000. Get evaluated and see if they can help you open your airway, allow you to breathe, and change your life. Chuck and Bo Show, 8:43. It's Friday. Back in a minute.
Touching the hearts of Arkansans, the passive-aggressive Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. Being a Razorback fan isn't just about the game. It's about the community, the tradition, and the moments that matter. At Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, they understand the importance of those moments. That's why they offer a selection of fine jewelry that goes beyond the ordinary, just like our hogs. Visit Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers, where you'll find that perfect piece to celebrate your Razorback spirit and the special moments in your life. If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
Our New Year's sale is on at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Get total New Year's savings up to $13,000 on select in-stock new 2024 Silverados. That's up to $13,000 in total savings on a new Silverado. Limited time only during our New Year's sale at Chevrolet of Fayetteville in the Fayetteville Auto Park. Chevrolet, together let's drive. ChevroletofFayetteville.com. Savings include dealer discounts and all incentives on select models. Must qualify. See dealer for details. Expires 3/3/25.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
If you suffer from sleep apnea, but you can't stand wearing your CPAP machine, I've got good news. And you need it because not wearing your CPAP can lead to severe health problems.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you don't have good sleep, you're not only affecting your body, it can affect your heart, it can affect your lungs, it can increase weight gain. If you don't get good sleep, you also are not filtering your brain well. So sleep's very, very important.
Dr. Scotty Bolding, who's an Arkansas native and world-renowned surgeon, has proven surgical alternatives that can improve your airway and help you breathe better.
If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Call Dr. Bolding's office today at 479-755-3000 for a consultation and tell them you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
You know, I want Texas to lose. Yeah, I want them to rot in hell.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
The Party Place has everything you need for special occasions. Super Bowl parties, Mardi Gras celebrations, Valentine's decorations, and more. Party supplies for 1 to 100. Shop the Party Place in Fort Smith.
It's time to party. So come to the Party Place. Let's party.
The Party Place in the Tuesday Morning Building behind Ashley Furniture in Fort Smith.
Get ready for your party at the Party Place.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Courtside with Fort Smith Public Schools.
You know, one of the things that the way I like to coach, I solicit a lot of feedback from the girls. And there's that language that you develop with your players that those seniors already know. And so when I'm asking them to do something, they can translate it for me, you know. Or when I'm needing feedback from them, they kind of know what I'm wanting to hear.
Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports. New episode every week on the Hit That Line podcast network and on hitthatline.com. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I mean, don't be dumb. And I don't mean that to be critical. I mean, literally, don't be dumb.
Yes, you do.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oh, I don't mean to brag, but
yeah.
Look at me. I'm pretty good. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. Mark Pope, the Kentucky coach, said this, and I want you to be able to hear it.
On a personal level, I love competing against people that I admire and look up to and love, and Cal is certainly one of those people. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame coach, and he's a legend in the sport, and he's rewritten a lot of the book on how things are done, and he's one of the best that there ever was, and he's also got a unbelievable legacy here at the University of Kentucky, and it's like an in-state game in the sense of that vibe. It gets you, there's nobody you love to compete against more than your brother or somebody in the family or somebody you're tied to you, and you're searching for bragging rights and all the things that come with it and all the drama and emotion that comes with it. It makes it really special.
That's Mark Pope, and tamping down a little bit of the anger at Cal from Kentucky fans. I think there'll be a little bit of a mixed reaction with Cal. I don't think it's going to be just a loud, overwhelming boo, but who knows?
You know, if you're Mark Pope, and I was listening to that thinking, you know, he's got to be worried first and foremost about how his team plays. You know, we're talking about what's it going to be like for Cal, what's it going to be like for the 3 players that played at Kentucky and the 3 others who pledged to go there. You know, this is a game Pope's got to win. Now, I doubt if he's viewing it like that, honestly. But if, you know, Arkansas were to go up there and pull off the upset, you know, the narrative late tomorrow night's going to be, well, Cal still got their number. Or, you know, Cal's, you know, it's going to be about Cal. Let's just put it that way. So I am anxious to see how Kentucky comes out and plays. I've watched Kentucky play more than once this year. There have been times where they look really, really good. And I've watched them, and I've thought, man, if they play that way the night we're up there, it's going to be bad. But I've also watched them struggle other times. I don't know what the final status of their point guard is going to be for tomorrow night. Dave was talking about it a little bit earlier.
He hadn't been cleared to practice yet.
Hadn't been cleared to practice yet. Doesn't mean he's not going to play. Just means he's not been cleared to practice yet. And this was as of yesterday. So, there's a lot at play here from a Kentucky perspective beyond just Cal coming back. But it would sure help Arkansas if Kentucky would be a little tight.
I think it's a free shot.
Well, it is.
It's a free shot, and it's not only a free shot to upset somebody, it's somebody that's been running their mouth at you. And that's as good as it gets.
And it's not going to stop if they win. You know, it's
But then the third thing, and maybe the most important thing, is you would have to think a momentum boost in a huge way for Arkansas.
Cal's not at his moment yet, and our fans have not had their moment with him yet. There's not been that moment where you look each other in the eyes. It's like, I love you. It's not like that. You hadn't had that magic moment on the beach yet.
I want to hear that again.
They need to, the sincere way I said it.
I love you.
They've not had that moment yet. They've not had it, and it needs to happen. And until it happens, we're going to have the separation that we have right now. And that's just the truth. There's got to be that moment. There's got to be that I love you moment.
I can't get over you. Can you look at each
can't.
other?
That's once in a lifetime.
I love you.
We'll hear
it's
that.
a once in a lifetime.
Early, I love you.
We'll hear it again.
You're losing the gist of what I'm saying.
Not.
You're
I
losing.
am not, but I had a moment to pounce on a great moment, and I did. I agree with you, and I love you, I do. It's really interesting that Cal and Arkansas are still not quite married. We're just living together.
Maybe so. They living in sin.
Well, we need to consummate this thing. And a win over Kentucky would absolutely get us to the altar.
I don't think that's a bad analogy.
Yeah, it's just we're not quite sure. It's like we were forced into this thing, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and it's kind of like, yeah. Let's keep going to Thursday night dinners. Let's keep, I don't know. Yeah. It really is because fans don't know what to do. They love the Razorbacks. They're like, when he got hired, it was really exciting. But then you're like, man, I don't know. I don't really know this guy. All his friends are talking bad about him from Kentucky. They're all telling me all these horrible things.
But basically what you're doing right now is all your ex's friends are telling you how bad this guy is. That's basically what's going on right now. You're getting trashed by your ex's friends.
How did we get here?
Happens every day.
How did we get here? Oh, this took a turn. So here Chuck's going to be. He's going to welcome you into the broadcast tomorrow night from Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky. Is this the night that we consummate the Cal-Arkansas marriage? Or do we go home and still sleep in separate rooms? Wow. Have a great trip.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Yeah. Where are you
I
going?
am looking forward to it.
Where are you going tonight? What do you have?
I don't know. I've really not thought it
Nobody's
through
got
yet.
it. Nope.
I don't know.
Are you on the itinerary, or you got to do your own thing?
Well, it
Take a
depends.
picture of it.
I don't know who's.
Take a picture of it.
I don't know.
Post it.
I honestly,
Take
I don't know if
pictures.
we got sponsors or not.
We need pictures from behind Lexington lines.
If there's somebody buying dinner, I might consider it.
It's been a great week on the Chuck and Bo Show. We'll try and do better. We'll certainly have something to react to on Monday.
Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard